All right, what's up? Welcome everybody to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Got a big show planned for today. Going to do a UFC 277, Nunes and Pena 2 preview prediction show.
Look at that beautiful face right there. Look at that beautiful face. What a guy.
I got a great guest today, joined by Pride. How you doing today, Pride? Thanks for joining me.
Well, thanks for having me. I think I came to the realization, Chris, I need help. I'm toxic. I think I'm too. I think I'm so toxic that like when I try not to be toxic, it still comes across as like massive toxicity. So some work. I have to do some soul searching and figure out. And I want to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champs does what the fuck he wants. Oh, man. How you doing, Chris?
Oh, I'm doing good. Excited about this fight card tomorrow.
Yes.
I think it's going to be, especially the main card. There's a couple of good prelim fights as well, but that main card's to me, is a pretty stacked card. But like you made a comment earlier that there might not be one fight that goes to decision.
Yeah, no, and I mean it. Like I'm so serious. I don't think like as of right now, like obviously we'll go through them, but like as we start to list them, like the lowest seeded guy is Sergey Pavlovich, and he's an 11 seed, or he's ranked at number 11 in the heavyweight division, right? but there's a lot of kind of hype behind this kid, right? Like a lot of people believe, hey, like if he beats Derek Lewis, we're going Sizzler with this kid. Especially in the heavyweight division, we're going Sizzler with this kid. He beats Derek Lewis, and he might be behind Curtis Blades in terms of getting that opportunity.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
that fight there, somebody's getting knocked out.
Right. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself. You know, when we get there, you know, we'll
Yeah, I think this is going. This pay per view card is one of their more stacked cards that they've had here recently.
it, no, it honestly and what I kind of like about it is you have a great mixture, right? So you got guys like for instance, Anthony Smith and Magomed Ankalaev. These are two guys that can scrap, but can also bring it down and show you some wrestling,
Yeah,
right? Obviously, Derek Lewis is gonna he's gonna slug it out, right? If you want speed and technicality, I present to you Brendan Murray and Kai Kara France, right? And then obviously you kind of got that grudge match with Pena and Nunes, and it's like, in my opinion, this card is a perfectly balanced card because you're not seeing too much of a situation where, oh yeah, you're only gonna be watching guys just fling fists for no reason and like miss. Like, you know, we're not watching Tank Abbott, right? Like that's not what this entire card is. You got some technique in there. You got some brawling in there. You got wrestling. You got jiu-jitsu. You got like no fight is gonna be the same. You're not gonna get bored because none of these fights are gonna be the same. I cannot wait.
no, it's great. I think this was great matchmaking because the matchups, even like the guys that are underdogs, a lot of the guys that are underdogs, you can make a good case that they might win. So I mean,
To be
there's a
to
lot
be
of good
honest,
matchups.
oh yeah, 100%. Like, dude, I'm just shocked at the Pena odds at this point, bro.
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
that
Like,
makes that's just well, we'll talk about it
we'll
when we
cross that
get
bridge when
there.
we get there.
'Cause
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we
I
get
have a
there.
lot quite a bit to say about that too because I can't believe that. But we'll go ahead and start with the first fight in the prelims. You have Mike Mathatha or Mathea, but most people have been calling him Blood Diamond against Orion Kosi. Diamond is a plus 164 underdog. Kosi's a minus 215 favorite. Uh, I'll go ahead and let you start this. And what you think about this fight?
Um, I- for me, I don't really take this fight too serious, and only reason why I say that is because where the welterweight division is right now, there is kind of it is a little top heavy. You got two guys like I think it's Kosi who's only had 8 fights to his name. If
Yep.
I'm mistaken, I think he's 7-1. Yeah, he's 7-1, so that's 8 fights to his name.
And he lost his
Um,
UFC debut.
right, they're both these guys are coming off losses. You know what I mean? So I just look at it as a situation where what they're really trying to do is who's really staying, because I think whoever loses this is on their way from getting cut from the UFC. Sucks to say, you know, but that's just kind of how it is, right? The problem with Diamond is every time he goes to the ground, he looks lost,
Yep.
and it's okay if you're not a ground guy. That's okay, but the problem is like when he gets taken down, he doesn't really do much, right? So if you're fighting a guy like Colby Covington, that's perfect because Colby will take you down, but he won't do anything, right? He's just gonna keep holding you, and he's not gonna do a single thing,
Yeah, just
right?
control position.
Exactly, that's it. You don't want to get taken down, and I want to stick specifically because to the welterweight division because you know if I don't stick that welterweight division, my conversation is going to be mute. So if you end up doing that with a guy like Gilbert Burns, Hazmat Chimaev, even Leon Edwards to an extent, while they're wrestling, they're hitting you. So like if he really wants to get up to that level, it's got a lot of work to do. I feel bad because, like I said, whoever loses this one is gonna end up getting, in my opinion, getting cut from the UFC.
Yeah, probably in Bellator or
Right. Which I mean,
some other promotion.
right. Which I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing if you end up in Bellator, because you know who else is in Bellator that we all love and respect? Douglas Lima. So trust me when I tell you, I'm not knocking Bellator.
No, I'm not
I'm not,
knocking Bellator either. I'm
right.
just
Yeah.
saying that some of your guys that can't make it in the UFC can go to Bellator and turn into the stars and maybe come back to UFC after you've sharpened your tool set a little bit.
Right. But I for me, I'm more comfortable going with Kosi. I think he's right now he's the more well-rounded fighter. Um, in terms of if you compare him to Diamond, he's comfortable everywhere, you know. Um, but this is a fight that I'm gonna look at and I'm gonna go, okay, cool. I'm gonna watch it just because it's on. That's just really how I look at it, right? Because
Yeah.
it's on, I'll watch it. I don't have really any in both these guys. I don't see anything special. I don't see anything, um, you know, I don't see anything that makes you want to tune in and watch them, right? I just see two guys that, oh wait, we need one more fight on the early prelims. We'll throw you a bone.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna go Kosi.
No, I agree. This I don't have no interest in this fight. And it's not trying to put these guys down. It's just at this point in their career, uh, I don't know if they're ready for UFC. But
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. I like Coast. I would go with Kosi as well because he's the more well-rounded fighter. He has good wrestling. The takedown defense is what's going to really worry me about Diamond.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kosi's going to be able to take him down, and if he don't cause damage, he's at least going to control him. But neither one of these guys has fought very tough competition either, so it's hard to gauge really how good either one of them are. But I like Kosi basically for the same reason as Diamond looks lost on the ground, and I think Koshi's going to be able to take this fight to the ground.
Yeah, and on top of that, well, and the part that really concerns me is not just the taking it to the ground; it's just the fact that he's really once Diamond gets there, he kind of goes, "Oh, okay, cool. How much time I got left before I can, the
Yeah,
round is over and I can go to my bench, come back and stand up again." And in wrestling, that's a bad mentality to have. That's bad because if you're down like that, and at that point you're kind of just like hoping, like if you're hoping this is Dragon Ball Super and you're hoping on hit to do a time skip for you to end up to get out of that situation, you're screwed.
yep.
You know, and that's like you said, Kosi, he could take him down, and the thing is, once you take him down, because Diamond won't be able to get up, you don't have to do maximum damage. Every 5 seconds, just throw one shot.
Yeah, just do
Every
enough
five
or they won't
seconds.
stand you up.
That's it. That's it. If you do just enough where they won't stand you up, you can basically just be on top of it all day. It won't be entertaining. It
But
won't
you'll
be an
win.
entertaining fight. But at this point in his career,
You just need
you're
a
gonna,
W.
yeah, exactly. You just need that dub so that way you can plant your feet firmly in the UFC. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
This is a fight that I'll probably be watching SummerSlam during this fight, honestly. Because
To
SummerSlam
be
starts at
honest,
8, so and the main card of UFC don't start till 10. So I'll probably watch a little bit of SummerSlam during a couple of these prelims I'm not really interested in. But I think this next prelim could be a pretty good fight. Uh with Patera and Negamuranu. Almost a pick 'em. You got -108 for Patera. Negamuranu's at -118. So that's on FanDuel. So it's almost a pick 'em. I think this could be a pretty good fight. The one thing that concerns me, but I like Nima Mugranu. Always mess that name up, but I like him to win this fight. The only thing that worries me a little bit for both these fighters again is level of competition. But I like him. I think Negamanu, his grappling and his wrestling is going to be a big difference in this fight. He's also has good power. I just don't think I think he's the more well-rounded fighter than Patera. And Patera's just been inconsistent. From fight to fight, you don't see the same guy, so that worries me. And then also, like I said, the level of competition. So I like Negamuranu to win this fight. What do you think, Pride?
um, So here's kind of my thing with this, right? I think this is really a situation where I want to word this the right way, but I'm just gonna go out and really just kind of, I'm just gonna go on a limb. Who is basically gonna get chin checked first? In my opinion, I don't know what it is about these two guys, but I'm looking at them and I've watched a little bit of this stuff before. One of them's gonna get chin check and it's gonna fall, and I just feel like it's gonna end up being a submission for one of these guys. Well, people don't understand both of these guys, right? I call them Nikolay and Eeyore. They both know how to use the submission game. They're solid in the submission game.
Yes.
Only thing though, they never really had to do it, just because I can go in and knock people out, right? Nikolay,
Yep.
like he's out here just knocking dudes out. Like his knockout percentage is over 50,
Yeah, he
and
hasn't used much of his grappling in the UFC.
but he can use it.
Yep, he can, but
You know what I mean? Like, but it's just the opportunity hasn't really called for him to use it, and it's not like he's going away from it because the few times that it's called, he's tried to use it.
yeah,
But again, the game plan when you fight a guy like Nikolay, stay on the feet. I would rather you stay on the feet and just use head movement and take your chances there rather than testing him. Because the scary part about it, this guy is a light heavyweight, but on the ground, he could move. For a light heavyweight, he could move. And not a lot of guys in that division can really keep up. It's kind of the same way that people kind of look at Cyril Gane, right? When Cyril Gane would take a guy down, and all of a sudden it's like this thing where it's just like, oh, 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 you're fast. Oh God, like you're quick, right? He kind of gives me that vibe a little bit. So I'm gonna go Nikolay. I think it's gonna be a very competitive back and forth. In my opinion, I just think Nikolay's gonna it's gonna be that one chin check, right, where he hits Eeyore, and it's not one that knocks him out. It's just one that buckles him, and then if just for a split second he's somewhere else, and then he gets up, and then he's gonna be like, "Oh, what do I do?" You know what I mean? There's gonna be a second where he's kind of, frozen, and then that's gonna end up going for the submission. Because honestly, people gotta stop sleeping on Nicolay's submission abilities. They gotta stop sleeping on it. Just because he's a light heavyweight doesn't mean he can't roll with you. He can, and he's comfortable doing it. So I'm just hoping I can see him make someone tap.
yeah. I think Nikolay is going to win this fight as well, and I don't know, he's a more well-rounded fighter, in my opinion. Both these guys have power in their hands, but I think Nikolay has a little bit more power, and I think his striking's a little more polished than what Pater's is. So that's why I like Nikolay as well in this fight. Pin. All right, next fight we have this is an interesting fight because of weight. As you have Kim against Edwards. Kim's a minus 130 at minus one. Actually, this is a pick 'em. Both of them are minus 113. Jiyoung Kim and Jocelyn Edwards. What do you think on this fight? I'll let you go first this time.
Do you mind going first? I gotta go get some juice for my kid.
Oh, I can go first.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I like Jocelyn Edwards in this fight. Um, she's 11-4. She took this fight on 2 weeks' notice. She has good power in her hands. The only thing that worries me about this fight is she's been fighting 145, and she's going down to 125 for this fight on 2 weeks' notice. She's only fought at 125 one time in her career, and that was 3 or 4 years or 2 or 3 years ago. So that's the only thing that worries me. But striking, she has improved takedown defense. Uh, I just think she's going to be too much for Kim. But Kim's not a slouch, but she is 1-4 last five, 3-5 overall in the UFC. She has decent boxing, but not a whole lot of power. She has lost three straight fights. But I think Edwards is the more skilled fighter in these two. I'm gonna go with Edwards. Like I said, the only thing that worries me is she's going from coming down from 145 all the way down to 125. So I do think she's going to be the much bigger fighter on fight day. But how is that weight cut going to affect her is the only thing I'm worried about. But I like Jocelyn Edwards here in this fight.
All right. Thanks for the patience, bro. All right. So who do you have winning?
I like Edwards.
Look, Edwards on. Okay. So, by the way, so for you, by the way, the other two, the first two fights on, because I'm on. When I look at it, you and I, we use two different sites, right? So you're on FanDuel. What I do is so that way we're in order. I go on UFC, their website, and they're partnered with DraftKings.
Okay.
So as of now, the first two fights, the odds are not out in terms of FanDuel. So, I'm sorry, DraftKings. So if you want to bet on those fights, go over to FanDuel. For this one, the odds here, because you said it's basically a pick 'em at minus 113 a piece on DraftKings. I'm looking at Edwards being the minus 130 favorite. It's very close. It's virtually a pick 'em too, because the underdog Kim, she's at a plus 110. So it's the difference isn't drastic. It's not really out of this world, right? So that being said, I do want to be a contrarian and go with Kim. I really do, but 150 to 141. Come on, son. I in terms of the weight, right? Like,
yeah, she's going down to 125, and she's been fighting at 145.
Like, homie, like
that's the only thing that worries me about Edwards, though, is that big weight cut on 2 weeks' notice.
I think not only do I think she can do it, I don't think it'll, because she says she's relative, like her walking weight isn't crazy. She says walking weight, she's only about like 10 pounds over, which I mean, yeah,
Okay,
sure, it's a problem. Bad. You see what I'm saying? But it's still not over the top bad, right? Because if now this is if she's telling the truth, which
10 pounds in 2 weeks isn't bad.
It really isn't too much, especially considering that with the 2 weeks, she's gonna blow herself back up anyway.
Yeah,
because a lot of fighters, what they do is, and Chris, you know this because you've been around, you know about MMA. So what fighters do, they fight at a lower weight class. So they'll fight at the lower weight class and they will kill themselves to make weight, and then they blow themselves up. So on their, even though they make weight at, let's say for some reason it's 170, right? A guy will do 170, just barely make it, blow himself up, and will try to walk in 180, 185.
Oh yeah.
Like people will do that, right? So I think Edwards, go ahead.
That's what people can't forget is they weigh in on Friday, so then they basically have over 24 hours to recover to put fluids in their body and recover.
Right, and then basically be able to get back.
10 pounds in 2 weeks isn't nothing. I wrestled in high school and I've cut weight before. I'm a little guy and I've lost nine pounds in 1 day before. So I mean,
100%. No, I'm with
10
you.
pounds in 2 weeks it's not as much as
right.
As hard as it sounds.
Right, because it sounds crazy, but it sounds crazy because you hear the word cut, right? When people hear the phrase cutting weight, there's like a negative connotation, because every time you see that, people think of Chris Cyborg cutting weight and crying because she's basically killing herself. Right? Like she's like the amount of pain.
That's what you're doing. You're dehydrating yourself.
Right. So it does kind of suck. But again, 10 pounds is fine. And on top of that, luckily for her, it's only for the 2 weeks. She take this fight on short notice?
Yep.
So even
2 weeks notice.
Right. So since it's on short notice, let's say for the sake of argument, she doesn't make it. They're not really gonna kill her for it.
No,
they're not, because they're gonna be like, look, you try, as long as she's not coming in like
160. She's close.
Yeah. They when you're short notice, what people don't know, when you're short notice, instead of a half pound they give you, they actually, if you take the fight on short notice, they give you about 5 pounds. And if you're within that 5 pounds showing you made effort, they won't be mad at you. They won't go, come on, you really, you didn't make weight. Like, they won't come at you for that,
Yeah.
So as long as she shows, like, hey, I'm trying to lose the weight, the UFC is not going to get mad at her, especially considering they're looking at her and they turn to her on a short notice fight.
Yeah.
So
they'll give her opponent 20% of her pay, and they'll let her fight, and they'll be done with.
But here's the question: do they do that when it's a fighter on short notice?
I'm not sure on short notice. They might not do that on short notice.
Yeah, because I know when it's a normal fight, they do. But
normal fight, you give up 20% of your purse.
You know what I think it is? I think they actually like increase. So they're like, all right, look, you got to be at the bare minimum this weight before you fight. So instead of being the normal weight, they'll probably, like, you know what I mean? Because it's like what, 1 142. Was it 145?
145.
145. So 145. If she she tried, she's probably within if she's within 10, they'll probably be like, all right, cool, whatever. We ain't gonna kill you because it's short notice. We're not gonna kill you, right? But I do like Edwards. I When I look at Edwards, the only concern I kind of, that's not even really a concern, but she does get a little more sloppy towards the later rounds. But I don't think that's a cardio thing. I don't know what it is because Jocelyn has pretty solid cardio.
Yeah.
She's got cardio. She can go. So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I agree with you. I'm gonna go Edwards. However, I will preface it with this. I think Jae Kim, she is going to give Jocelyn Edwards a fight.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a fun fight to watch. It's going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a banger. I'm going to go with Edwards, but by the narrowest of margins.
And they fight early because that fight is scheduled to start like around 7:15.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fights on this card. I think there's like 13 or 14 fights.
Yep, in total. Yep.
Well, so far we've agreed on all of them.
So far.
Next fight we have is Adam Fugit against Michael Morales. Morales is a minus 720 favorite. Fugit's a plus 450 underdog on FanDuel.
Over here, that's probably a bet you might want to consider over on FanDuel because on DraftKings it's way much closer. Michael Morales is a plus 230 underdog, while Adam Fugit is a minus 275 favorite.
Wait a minute, Morales is an underdog on FanDuel or on DraftKings?
He is a plus 230.
Oh, I would jump on that all day.
He's a plus 230.
Hey, before you go, Pride, real quick, because you brought up something now twice. If you're going to bet on sports, don't just use one sports book. Look at different ones because you can find a lot better value sometimes at different places.
Yeah, because I remember
I get on DraftKings and look. I look at on FanDuel.
Because I remember the first time I got on.
I look on Caesar Sportsbook because you can get better odds.
Because the first time I got on, I remember you told me that you were like, keep your thing. That's why, like when I found out that you did FanDuel, that's why I started. That's why I would kind of tell the odds also over here on DraftKings because it's like, as long as you know what you want to bet, the odds fluctuate depending on where you make the bet. It fluctuates.
I can't believe he's an underdog on DraftKings and he's a minus 720 favorite on FanDuel. That is amazing.
It really is. So again, that kind of shows you like if you think if Adam's your guy, go FanDuel, right? Because obviously he's the underdog over on FanDuel. So if you think he's gonna win, you might as well jump on that. But if you think Michael Morales is getting this dub, go over on DraftKings because again he's a 230 underdog. Plus 230. So
man, that's crazy. I don't think that's probably the biggest odds difference I've seen.
Yeah, because usually they got the same person winning.
Be different, but they're close.
Yeah. Like for instance, like Jocelyn Edwards, right? For you, it was basically a pickup. Over here on DraftKings, minus 130 to plus 110, which is virtually kind of the same thing, right? Because those are uber close, right?
Yeah.
So it's usually like that. Over here, this is a completely different story. So yeah, if Michael Morales is your guy, hop on DraftKings because apparently DraftKings don't fuck with the guy. I don't know what he did, but apparently he's not good. But go ahead, Chris.
No, you go ahead. Who do you got having this fight?
Well, I'm going Morales. There's just I believe I like his power. I like his boxing technique too.
Yep.
It's a very good, clean technique. His movement I really do like. This is a guy who he has the ability to go into the deeper rounds, right? He can go by decision. He doesn't really care to, but that option is still on the table. I believe he's got a 1-inch leg reach, I believe is the advantage for him. 41 to 40, I believe. And he's got a 3-inch reach advantage as well. In terms of his arm reach. So I think you're gonna see him kind of stick the jab. You know what I mean? Move around. For Adam, this is his promotional debut. He has not had a fight in the UFC, so God bless him. Good luck with him. Morales is undefeated, and maybe it's just me. Is it me? It might be me. But I'm looking at this as a situation where if he wins this bout, his next fight, he should probably start looking at. Let me see what the rankings are in the welterweight division.
I was gonna say if he wins this fight, he should be getting pretty close to making the rankings.
Hold on. Why is Michelle Pereira 15th in the welterweight division?
Huh.
Don't they want him to fight Izzy? Don't tell me they're just doing anything to get him ranked. Do better. Well, obviously not, because I was gonna say have him fight number 15, but no, we can't do that. We can't ruin him. Izzy versus Michelle, so we can't do that. So, Jeff Neal, maybe Neil Magny, maybe Michael Chiesa. I mean, he's not really doing anything, right? I think honestly, you should probably start priming him to get one of those guys because I don't know Michael Morales. I think this kid is a stud. I like him
too. I think
he could.
I think he could really work his way up the division.
Yeah, I believe so. And the thing is, once you're ranked, with how bad like Usman is out, like I think about it, who really is gonna give Usman a legitimate challenge, right? He beat Colby twice. Colby should never get another rematch. Period. Let's just get out because he got dominated both times, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Gilbert Burns.
There's no reason to see a third fight of that.
Right. Gilbert Burns got knocked out bad. You think Belal Muhammad has a chance? Bro, he's so scared to fight Usman, he's virtually retired. So God knows really what's going on with him. I don't think Vicente Luque really has a chance. And now when you're going seventh, that's Stephen Thompson. He's basically done, right? Because he's like what 89, his old self. Love you, Stephen.
Too much damage.
But I feel like I can make fun of Wonder Boy because that's my boy. I like him a lot. But then Jorge Masvidal, lols. Okay, he got knocked out. Number 9, Sean Brady. I love Sean Brady. That's my boy. I don't think he's ready. And now you're going 10 to 15, who's definitely not ready. So it's like there's really only 2 guys that Usman really needs to beat before you can officially say I really cleaned out the division. And he's fighting one of them at the next pay-per-view, right? Leon Edwards, right? If he beats Leon, which we'll cross that bridge when we get there, and if he beats Chimaev, all of a sudden you're going to be desperate to make a new star. If you get this kid, Michael Morales, and you make him fight Neil Magny, Michael Chiesa, Jeff Neal, Jing Liang, maybe, if he beats them and then he ends up, you give him one more fight, maybe even like a UFC fight night main event, he beats Vicente Luque, beats Muhammad. Imagine if he somehow stumbles his way into beating Chimaev. Oh, I'm going Sizzler with this kid. Me and him, bro, we're partying, bro. We're going Sizzler. But I believe I like this kid a lot. I do like what he's bringing to the table. So I'll be honest, man. If he wins this in convincing fashion, they're going to have to start giving to him and start giving him some tests. Yeah. And let's see if this kid really is legit. Because I think he is, but we won't know until the rubber meets the road. So I think after this fight, you're gonna have to start giving this kid some legitimate tests.
Yeah, if he wins this fight, I think his next fight should be somebody like you said in the ranked in the 10 to 15 range, at least. Because I like Morales in this fight. He has great boxing. He's a great counter striker as well. But he's also not bad on the ground. He has good wrestling and grappling. So I'll tell you what, UFC did not do Fugit a favor by putting him in here with Morales on a 9-day notice.
Imagine we say this and all of a sudden Fugit knocks him out. I will get so upset. I will need to talk to Dana White. I'll be like, Dana, who's your boss? I need to talk to him.
I think it could be a decent fight, but I just think Morales is more well-rounded and I think he has more power in his hands than what Fugit does. So I don't know if Fugit's going to be able to handle Morales on their feet.
I don't think so. And the thing is, what the sad part about it is, I don't think he'll be able to. But I think Fugate's gonna end up trying to go to the ground to get a break, and then that's where it's gonna be like Morales gonna be like, "Oh wait, this is your best chance. It's gonna be a long night for you, kid. Let me show you why I'm undefeated, fuck boy."
And then the next fight, this was one that we might be opposite on this one. We've been the same so far, but you got Jakar Close against Rafa Garcia. Close is a minus 245 favorite, and Rafa Garcia is a plus 186 underdog on FanDuel.
Yeah, over here on DraftKings, the odds aren't even out yet. What a time to be alive.
Wonder why DraftKings waits so long to put them out.
Let me see.
Maybe the maybe
Oh
they think
no.
something
Okay,
might
okay.
happen.
So I lied. I'm a liar. I fibbed. So it's not on the UFC website. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right. So let me just catch up because I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Okay. So for Kosi versus Blood Diamond, Kosi's a minus 215 favorite. Blood Diamond is a plus 185 favorite. Underdog. I'm sorry. Um, for Nikolay versus Eor, Nikolay is a minus 120 favorite. Eor is the plus 100 favorite.
We both had Nicolay.
Yep. And then I think we both had Kosi
Yep.
in the first one too. Um, Edwards is a minus. I'm just gonna go based off FanDuel because this is probably more updated. Edwards is a minus 125, so now the gap is lengthened. She's now a minus 125 favorite. Kim is a plus 105 underdog.
Edward
Um,
just went up to a minus 148 underdog or a favorite. I mean on FanDuel now.
yep. And then Michael Morales is a minus 600
So that changed too.
favorite. Yeah, real quick. And then Fugit is a plus 450. So that's what we got now. And then for Close versus Garcia, Close is a minus 215 favorite, and Garcia is a plus 185 underdog. Um,
So they're pretty close because on here it's 245 favorite and plus 186 underdog. So they're pretty close on this fight.
yep. Who you got winning?
Uh, Man, this fight was I ain't gonna lie, this fight was a tough one for me. I think it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
a fun fight to watch because of their styles. Uh, I'm gonna go with Rafa Garcia, even though he took this fight on 16 days notice. Uh, I think his boxing is just gonna be a little bit better than what Close's is, and they both can wrestle. Both guys have some or excuse me, Garcia is great on the ground on submissions. He has 8 on his career.
Yep.
Uh, Close might have a little bit more power, but I just think Garcia is going to be able to get inside and get his takedowns and be able to maybe get a submission or do some damage. So I like Garcia in this fight.
Okay. So I'm gonna go close. I'm definitely gonna go against you. I'm gonna go close. Now the only reason why I'm going close was because Garcia took this fight on short notice. I believe if you give him a full training camp to come up with a full, legitimate, fleshed out game plan, I think we have a completely different conversation. But I
That's
just
the only
think
thing that worries me. I'm not gonna lie. That's the only thing that worries me about the fight.
that's it. So unfortunately, because of that, I'm gonna go close. If it wasn't short notice, I would honestly think Rafa Garcia would have this, but honestly, that's really the only reason. I think that's like the biggest reason. In my opinion, it's the only reason why I'm going close. But it being the only reason, it is still a huge reason and a huge disadvantage that Garcia is in right now. So I'm gonna go close.
All right, that's first time we was different on.
Yes, sir.
Next fight is Dontel Mays, and I'm not even going to try to say that last name, so I'm just going to call him Hamdi. But
Abdul Wahab.
Abdullah Hab or something like that.
Yep, Abdul
Yep.
Wahab.
Minus two. Mays is minus 200 favorite. Hamdi is a plus 154 underdog.
Hold on. So for you, the underdog is Hamdi, right?
Yep.
Abdul Wahab.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So over here, it's the exact opposite. So if you guys think Dontel Mays is gonna get the winner, if you got that confidence, um,
Yeah, you can get Mays as an underdog on DraftKings.
I'm looking at the wrong one. Never mind. Nah, Mays is minus 195. I was looking at the wrong one.
I was gonna say if Mays is the underdog, I would take
Yeah,
that on DraftKings definitely.
my bad. Nah, I lied. I lied. He's a minus 195.
Okay, real
And
close.
then Abdel Wahab is plus 165.
So they're about the same.
Yeah,
Who do you like in this fight? I think it's going to be interesting.
dude, I'm going Mays because I just see Abdul Wahab and his face does not match his body, so I'm he's losing. Um, my concern is this is a guy in Abdul Wahab who has never fought before in the UFC.
No, he has 3 fights in his career. 2 of them I think were bare knuckle.
Exactly, two was bare knuckle and one wasn't legit.
Yeah, he hasn't fought a great level of competition at all.
Right, so um, I'm going Hayes.
And Mays has like a 7-inch reach
Mays.
advantage on him.
Yeah, he's got a and I believe his leg. He also has a leg reach advantage too. I think by a few inches as well. So look, no disrespect to Abdul Wahab, and if I'm mistaken, this is a short notice fight too.
Yeah, and don't get
I
me
believe
wrong. I could see. I mean, there's a world where Hamdi could catch Mays with a shot and knock him out. He has good power.
That's not a world I want to live in.
But I just don't see it happening. But I just think the level of competition that Hamdi's fought hasn't been great. He does have good power, but he gets out of control on his feet.
Overly reckless.
Yeah, gets reckless, and I think that could be bad news against Mays' boxing. So that's why I like Mays in this fight as well. And next fight is Drew Dober against Rafael Alves. Dober's a minus 196 favorite. Alves is a plus 152 underdog. That's on FanDuel.
Say that one more time, bro. My fault.
Are you good? Got Drew Dober against Alves, Rafael Alves. Dober's a minus 196 favorite. Alves is plus 152 underdog on FanDuel.
152. Okay, over here on DraftKings, it's a little closer. Dober's still the favorite at minus 170. Alves is a plus 145 favorite. So, you get more bang over here on FanDuel.
To me, this fight here is going to be interesting. It's an interesting fight because both guys have decent grappling. Alves, I would say, has the better grappling, but both guys have. Both of them have submissions. Thing that worries me about Dobers is takedown defense, but the thing that worries me about Alves is his cardio. He slows down as the fight goes on, and basically because of my worry about his cardio, I like Dober here in this fight.
Yeah, and honestly, and another reason why I'm going Dober because I agree with you there. My thing is with Dober, yeah, sure, his takedown defense is a little spotty, like you can take him down, but the thing is, when you take him down, there's a lot of times he gets right back up. He can submit you, or he can end up just negating everything you do because he basically says he's a wizard on the ground himself. He already knows what's going to happen. Combine that with the fact that I believe he does have more power than Alves, and like you said, with the cardio, I think round one is going to be a banger. They're both going to come out crazy. I think Alves is going to get a little tired round two, and just being a little tired.
Yep.
Sometimes that's all that's needed for you to go night, and
I could see somebody getting submitted in this fight. Between these two fighters, they have in their careers 17 submissions combined.
Yep.
So this fight could easily end on the ground, and then they both have good power. Dober has 8 knockout wins, and Alves has 7 knockout wins.
Yep.
So but they both have won quite a few fights by decision too. So
yep.
I just think the cardio is going to play a big factor in this fight.
I agree.
And then the last fight of the prelims is Alex Morono against Matthew Selmasberger. Selmasberger's a minus 170 favorite. Morono's a plus 132 underdog. What do you think about
And,
this featured fight for the
and
prelims?
what was Semmelsburger for you for the
Uh,
odds on
minus
FanDuel?
170.
170. Okay. So here, FanDuel, Morono is a plus 135. Semmelsburger is a minus 155. So just in case anyone cares for those.
Oh, see, damn, I'm gonna have to go to DraftKings because I like Selmasberger in this fight, and I can get him a little bit better value. He's still a
Yeah, you
favorite.
can.
He's only minus 150 on DraftKings.
Yeah, because I was about to say, but once you said that he was a minus 150, I was like, minus 155. You could probably get a little more bang for your buck over here. But yeah, I think for me, I think it's gonna be a solid fight. For
Yeah,
me,
it's a fight I wouldn't bet on because I
no,
can see there's scenarios I can see either guy winning.
yep,
So I'm not confident enough I'd actually put money on it. But I do like Selmasberger. Uh, and a lot of it is I think he's going to be the bigger fighter because he's big for this division,
yes, he's huge.
and
Pause.
he has good striking, good wrestling. I mean, he's just well rounded. But Morono has some good power, so but
Right.
Morono can get out of control a little bit, and he throws high volume sometimes, and his cardio could play a factor.
And a lot of times when he's throwing those high volumes, why I don't like Morono throwing high volumes, he gets chin checked a lot
Yeah, because you
because
don't.
when he's being reckless, it's the counters piece him up like
Yep,
crazy, and he does get chin checked a lot. So I think and Semmelsberger, he's got a nice counter. I think it's a counter right. Is it the right? Yeah, I think it's a counter right hook that he throws. That's like
yeah,
vicious, and his counter left uppercut too is kind of like this weird thing because like his body's doing one thing, but the when he does the uppercut, it does something. It's crazy, but 100%, I'm going Semmelsberger. Like you said, he's already big for the division, right? So that just kind of really means more power. He's got the reach and leg reach advantage, right? Both by 3 inches, and he's got the height advantage.
he's
I
4-1
think.
in the UFC as well.
Right. And I just think that he's gonna come out calm, cool, collected. He's gonna be like, all right, I'm just basically gonna piece him up and I'm just gonna wait for Morono to kind of give me the opportunities. Because the thing is, Morono gets frustrated very easily. He gets
Yep,
frustrated very easily. That's kind of like the blueprint that people have been using to beat this guy. When if you kind of just toy with him a little bit, he gets frustrated and then tries to full blitz you and he tries to full send you to, the dark ether. And the problem with that is when you have a guy who can chin check you real quick with counters, which is one of your biggest defensive flaws, it's a recipe, that's a recipe for disaster. So, 100%, bro. I'm going Semmelsberger.
yeah. When you pull the picture up of Selmasberger, he don't even look like he'd be a fighter. It's like
No, he
I
looks like
saw
a lumberman. He looks
I
like a
saw the
lumber.
picture. I'm like, dude, who's this guy?
Yeah, dude. He just looks normal. He's like, what the vibes he gives me? He gives me that Yuri Prohashka vibe.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I mean? He's just there and he's just kind of like, hey, what's up? Like he gives you that type of vibe.
Well, all
You
right.
can you can tell he gets girls like crazy though. He's a fuckboy without a shadow of a doubt. Don't kill me, Smellsburger. Please don't kill me.
So we both have Selmsberger.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's all the prelims. So we'll move to the main card. This main card has a lot of good fights on it. I'm
Yes,
excited for the main card tomorrow night.
I'm excited. I'm
And to
like,
kick it off, we get Anthony Smith against Ankalev.
mm-hmm.
Smith is a plus 400 underdog. Ankalev's a minus 620 favorite on FanDuel.
So over on DraftKings, Smith is a plus 430 underdog. Ankalaev is a minus 560 favorite.
So if you want to bet on this fight, you get better value at DraftKings,
That's crazy.
especially if you like Smith because you're getting him at plus 460 and you're only getting him at plus 400 here. So I mean that's some money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nah,
What you think about this fight? I think this is going to be an interesting fight because I could see, but I guess I can look at this fight at different ways and see both either guy winning. But then,
So
but the odds are a lot farther apart than what I figured they would be for this fight. I know Smith has
I
had some
didn't think,
troubles.
yeah, but at the same time, it's not like it's
And not really, he's had troubles. He's lost some stuff. When he's lost, it's been to like top level guys. It ain't
right.
like
So
he's
it's not
lost
like he's
slouches.
right. And on top of that, when he's losing, it's not like he's looking like a bum. We're not
Yeah.
having conversations like, man, he's got to retire. It's just more along the lines of like, damn, he low key kind of wasn't lucky. I
Yeah, when
could
I
see
saw
it.
these odds, I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised. I thought
I
the
was
odds would be
shocked.
closer.
I was honestly shocked.
I mean, I don't have a problem with Smith being an underdog, but maybe like at plus 130 or plus 150. I don't see a
I
big
thought it
gap,
was gonna
that
be.
big a gap in these guys.
Honestly, before, because what I usually try to do is when I see the card, right, I go to Google, right.
Yeah.
I just Google UFC 277 or whatever, right, and it kind of tells me the card, but it doesn't give me the odds. I do that so I can try to predict the odds because I'm curious, like who
Yeah.
would be the
I do
underdog,
the
who would
same
be
thing.
the, you know what I mean, who's the favorite, who's the underdog, how much is it gonna be, and I have this. I thought Ankalaev was gonna be honestly like a minus 180, and you go over to Anthony Smith, and I was gonna give him, 140ish, plus 140, something like that, right?
Yeah.
In that vicinity. And then all of a sudden I saw -4 and I was like, all right, this is relax, right? And then I looked over to Anthony Smith and it was like +3. And I was like, all right, settle down. Whoever's doing this, all right, relax, settle down. I don't think it's that much of a discrepancy. Um,
No,
um,
I think it's
what?
going to be a real close fight. I really
I
do.
do too. I think so too. I think this is a situation where, in my opinion, especially in the light heavyweight division, Magomed Ankalaev kind of really needs to prove he belongs up
He
there
needs to
because
get
he's
that
fourth.
signature win.
Right, he's fourth. Anthony Smith is fifth. He gets that signature win, and all of a sudden, it's kind of him and Islam Makhachev are kind of in the same boat, right? Where people feel like they were propelled way too quickly.
Yeah.
Magomed gets this win. That's a signature win he needs. And for Anthony Smith, this could perhaps really be his final chance.
Yeah. To try to make another one more title run.
Right. You know
Or
what I
one
mean?
more
Because,
run at the title, I should say.
right. Because think about it. Right now, Jamal Hall, after he knocked out Johnny Walker, which was by far the funniest knockout I think I've ever seen.
Rampage versus Hamill. Man, I remember that.
Bro.
I got
Dude,
on I'm watching UFC TV and
dude,
they're getting ready to show right now it's getting ready to be Frank Mir against Roy Nelson.
big country Roy Nelson. I'm glad you brought up Matt Hamill. The funniest joke I've ever heard. I can't remember where I heard it from. You might have heard this. So they were talking about John Jones and how he beat Matt Hamill. Right. For those of you who don't know, Matt Hamill's deaf.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's legally deaf, he's got hearing problems. So um somebody had basically said that like after the fight, because for those of you who don't know, because everyone's wondering where did that loss come from, John Jones? It came from Matt Hamill. And it's not because Matt Hamill beat him. It's because John Jones threw illegal elbows going 12-6, which is basically going up vertical and directly down vertical. Those were illegal. He hit some of those, so they disqualified. So that's his loss. So after the fight, in the octagon, Matt Hamill was like, "Oh, bro, don't worry, we're gonna rematch." And then someone basically was like, "Yo, did you see John Jones' face?" He's like, "I'm never gonna rematch you." And he's like, and then someone else was like, it was like a show, and someone else was like, "Dude, he's insane." And then someone was like, it was Brandon Schaub on the Joe Rogan Experience, dude. And he was like,
I like
dude,
Schaub.
dude.
I used to listen to that Fighter and the Kid podcast a lot.
Yo, he was like, it was him and Joe Rogan basically saying, "Dude, he's not gonna rematch you." And then they were basically just saying how it shouldn't be a loss. They're like, "Watch the fight." And then Brett Shaw was like, "Did you hear him?" Like afterwards, like, "Dude, bro, in the back." And Joe Rogan said something like, "He's not gonna rematch you." And then Brendan Shaw goes, "Dude, what? You want to lose your fucking vision too, bro?" And I was just like, "No."
Yeah, Schaub and Rogan they're pretty good friends. They're together a lot.
Yo, so much, dude. Out of that, when I heard that, I started laughing. I was like, "That's hilarious." But I got Ankalaev. I genuinely believe he's gonna get this win. Excuse me.
I have Ankalaev as well. I just
Yep.
there's only one thing that worries me about Ankalaev is he'll go in these periods where he don't throw very much volume, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to get in that kind of fight where you control but don't do much volume because you don't want to leave it up to the judges because
Right.
we all know UFC the UFC well whoever judges they are because they don't really belong to the UFC but they're terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
No.
that's the only thing that worries about me. Sometimes his volume will get low, but I I just think I just think at this point in their careers he's a little bit more polished than what Smith is. I think Smith is might be coming more toward the downhill of his career.
Yeah. And honestly, for me, I just really look at it as I think Ankalaev can't really be in a situation where you know and maybe this is just me, but I don't think Ankalaev, because I do have those same concerns about the constant, like the spots of inactivity. But I think Anthony Smith will put so much pressure on him that he won't be able to get away with that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That definitely
Cause,
could happen.
cause bro, he a dog.
Yeah,
He a dog.
yeah. When he's throwing volume, man, you're in trouble. But just every once in a while, it's like he just slows down. But and I don't think it's a cardio issue because he don't ever look tired. He don't look tired.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think it's that either. To be honest with you, I don't know what it is. I really don't. But but like I said, I think because of Anthony Smith and how much he's very aggressive himself, I don't think, in my opinion, if we're gonna see that. And if we do, it's gonna be a shame, really is. But I got Ankalaev
Yeah, I got Ankalaev too.
or
Like I said,
Ankalaev.
I just think he has good kicks. And Smith is susceptible to getting hit in the body, and he gets hurt when he gets hit to the body.
Mm-hmm.
And Uncle throws some good kicks to the body, and he'll throw some good punches to the body as well. And I think that could be a big factor in this fight because that's how Smith don't take blows to the body very well.
Unfortunately, he does not.
But then the second fight of the main card, I think this is going to be a real. I think this is going to be a fun fight. You got Alex
Yep.
Perez versus Alexander Patoya. I like
Okay.
Patoya is a minus 196 favorite. Perez is a plus 152 underdog.
Yeah, over on DraftKings, Alexandre is minus 190. Alex Perez is a plus 160 underdog.
So if you like Perez, you get better value at DraftKings.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you like Pantoja, head on
I,
over to
I think
FanDuel.
I think it's going to be a fun fight.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
both guys have good striking. Perez has good kicks, but the only thing that scares me about Perez is weight issues. He missed weight last fight. I think there's been like 3 or 4 fights in a row of his that have been booked and got canceled either for weight issue or for something. So I'm just hoping he gets on the scale tomorrow night, and the fight is going to happen, or tonight, and the fight's going to happen tomorrow. But I think Patoya, I like Patoya, however you pronounce his name. I like him. Hey, I know I butcher some of these names, but no, I like him to win this fight because I think his weapons are more lethal than what Perez's are. I think he
Okay.
has that little bit more of a mean streak and with his power, and he has great grappling as well, and he has good cardio. So I like Patoya to win this fight. Uh, Patoya has actually beat Marino, who's in the co-main event,
Mm-hmm.
or in the co-main event twice.
Yup.
So, I mean, he has a lot of weapons. He's a well-rounded fighter. So for that reason, I like Patoya.
So I'm gonna agree with you, but I'm gonna agree with you for a different reason. Believe it or not, I'm gonna agree basically because of matchmaking. I think whoever wins this will fight the loser of Moreno versus Kai Kara France. That we're gonna end up seeing as a co-main.
Yeah,
I think
so yeah, I
whoever
can see that.
you know what I mean, to kind of start setting something else up because um, I think now they're starting to see. All right, before it was just Brandon Moreno, or before it was just Davidson Figueredo, right? Now it's Now it's Brandon Moreno and or Davidson Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno.
Yeah,
Now
I
you
mean,
have a
if Moreno wins tomorrow, we're probably going to see Figueroa and Moreno. Was it 4?
four. Yeah, they're
And
gonna run
you
it
know
back.
what? Most times you'll say, "Oh, I don't want to see it." Hey, I wouldn't care to watch them two go at
No
it
way.
again.
Because they fought what 3 times. This is the
Yeah,
first time and that I can remember that the guy has like three guys like a guy's two guys have fought 3 times, right? One guy clearly has like the record advantage, and you still don't know who is better. This
yeah,
is the first time, in my opinion, I've ever seen anything like that.
yeah.
Like
It's
it's
rare.
like think about it, bro. It's wild, and they had their trilogy back to back to back to back,
Yeah,
right? And it's just nuts to me.
and it's leading up for the fourth fight,
Right.
especially if Marino can win tomorrow night.
Oh, Moreno wins. He's definitely gonna be up there. But again, that we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but I'm gonna go Alex Andre. I do like him. I do think he's a little more, um, he's a little more quick on his feet. Um, Even though he doesn't have a leg reach advantage, he doesn't really live on leg kicks. And what I like about him is he's a very well balanced winner. And what I mean by that is he's got plenty of wins under his belt by knockout. He's got plenty by submission and plenty by decision. So when you watch this guy fight, he never really feels out of a fight. He
Yeah,
doesn't really feel out of a fight. And when you have that, that's something really great because no matter what, you know, you always have the you know, words are hard for me, but you you always have that opportunity to end
yeah.
up getting the win. So I think it's gonna be close, but I got Pentoja.
That's who I have to. And for Patoa, he has I mean, he's 32 years old, so he needs to keep going up the rankings. So,
I just had
was
to
it?
switch. That
Oh,
was just me. I just had to switch.
I was like, what the hell happened?
That was just me. I don't know if I said the odds by the way, but Pantoja minus 190. He's a minus 190 favorite. Perez plus 160 favorite.
Yes, like I said, if you like Perez, you get better value at DraftKings. That's but I like Patoa. I think he's on a. I think might be his last shot at making a run for the title, and he's looked good in all the fights I've seen him fight. So I'm going with Patoa as well. And in this next fight, this right here is what good old JR would call a slobber knocker. As you have Derek Lewis against Sergey
Sergey.
Sergey Pavlovich, and Lewis is plus 112. Pavlovich is a minus 142 favorite. What you think about this one? I think this is going to be a brawl, and somebody's getting knocked out.
Yeah, you want to know what I really think, Chris? I just think someone stole my now and later. This is an outrage. Yeah. 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 But this for me, I'm gonna. It's tough. It's tough. I'm gonna go Derek Lewis on blind faith. Blind faith. I shouldn't. I shouldn't. Um, but I'll be honest. I believe that this rough patch that Derek Lewis is going to, or going through, relatively speaking, I don't think it's anything bad, anything out of this world. I think it's the same thing as Alex Smith. Look who he's losing to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people are looking at that especially that to Taito Ivasa loss as like a bad thing. Bro, you're losing to a kid to a guy who's been climbing up the ranks and beating everyone that you've kind of been putting him in the octagon with. So it's
Yeah,
like I'm not necessarily gonna knock him for it. He tried to bang with him, right? Because that's what Derek Lewis does, right? It's not like Derek Lewis was like, oh yeah, I'm a fight like a punk, and I'm now gonna try to work some jiu-jitsu, and I've never done that before. It's not what happened. He just got caught, you know. So I'm gonna go Derek Lewis. I still think Derek Lewis has the power. Um, if it was a 5 rounder, I would say something different. But because it being a 3 rounder, I think he'll be able to kind of gas himself. Because I said this before, not a single fight is going to decision. You know,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I like Lewis as well. The only thing that worries me about Lewis a little bit is his motivation because he's getting. I mean, he's 37. It's not likely he's going to get another title shot, but he is 10-2 in the state of Texas. Lives in Houston, if I remember correctly. So he likes fighting there close to home. I like Lewis here. Pavlich, I know he's a good striker, and he has 12 knockouts. He has power, but I don't think he's fought. I know he hasn't fought near the level of competition that Lewis has, and that's one thing that worries me about Pavlich. So I like Lewis in this fight for those reasons.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad that you feel that way. You know what I mean? 'Cause I get it. On top of that, I'm also not mad because you agree with me. So trust me when I tell you. As long as you agree, I don't mind. Um, for the odds here, Sergey Pavlovich is actually the favorite over on DraftKings. He's a minus 145 favorite. Derek Lewis is a plus 125 underdog.
Ooh,
But if anybody here is very confident in Derek Lewis, and if you're that comfortable to put money on,
you get
I don't know
better.
how I don't know how it is over
You get better
on
value at
FanDuel.
DraftKings.
So what are the odds over at FanDuel?
On FanDuel, Lewis is plus 112 and Pavlich is
Hmm.
minus 142.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So
If you like Lewis, you get better value at DraftKings. That's crazy. It's crazy how much different sports books can be. Well, then we move on to the co-main event of the evening, and this right here, this fight's going to be interesting. Yeah, it could be a real close fight, but I also see a world where Moreno can be kind of dominant in this fight as well. Um, he's coming off a loss to Figueroa where he lost his title. Coming back off a loss like that, it's always nice to see how how you respond. He beat France back in 2019 by decision. Moreno was the underdog in that fight. We know Moreno has a good chin. I like his wrestling, and he has good boxing and good kicks. But France isn't no slouch, and he's on a 3-fight win streak. Has good power. He's 4-1 over his last five. Uh, he won his last fight, so I mean, he's on a 3-fight win streak. But I don't think he's gonna have enough against Moreno.
Really.
You like
This is where
France?
I don't like France. I don't like Kai Car France. Chris, I love Kai Kara France. I'm enamored with Kai Kara France. I want to change my name to Kai Kara France Jr. That's how much I am deep in love with this man. So over here on DraftKings, Brandon Moreno is a minus 215 favorite. Kai Kara France plus 185 underdog. I am taking the underdog. Not like in this instance, Kai Car France is a guy that I've been watching for a while. And no one has ever agreed with me, but I've always been saying there's just something about this kid. I don't know what it is. But if you put this kid's back to a wall, he doesn't give a flying French toaster stick.
Yeah.
He don't care. He's like, bro, put me up against the wall. I promise you, I don't care. He will take his chances with absolutely anybody. Kyle France, Brandon Moreno, dare I say, I think Brandon Moreno is actually overlooking Kai Kara France. And he is looking, and he's basically, in his mind, he already has Figueredo Moreno 4 already planned out in his head and all the stuff he wants to say and how bad he
I
wants to get
hope
the belt back.
I hope he's not doing that because if he does that, he's going to be in
That's what I'm
trouble. Because
saying. That's what
France
I'm
isn't no
saying.
slouch. I do
I
like
don't,
Moreno, but France isn't no slouch at all. But one thing, real quick, that does kind of worry me about France is this will be his first 5-round fight.
and I would agree with you, but the only reason why I don't think so, you want to know why, Chris? Is they going 5 rounds. It ain't going 5 rounds, Chris. That's the only reason why that's not a concern for me. Literally the only reason. If this was gonna be a 5 round war, yes, I would be concerned. But only because I don't think it's gonna go 5 rounds. So I'll be all right. Naomi, high five. You agree with me? She punched me, so it counts. So we got 2 people for Kai Car France, and when he went, I'm putting money on it. I'm betting Kai Car France because if we do, bro, we're going with Sizzler.
I think we've only been different on like 2 fights.
Yeah, I think one of them was on the early prelims,
Yeah.
and the other one is just now.
And then, man, the main event, Pena against Nunes. Juliana is a plus 220 underdog on FanDuel, and Nunes is a minus 295 favorite, which I think is absolutely disrespectful to the champion Pena. How
Yeah,
the hell?
I agree. It is very
How the hell
disrespectful to the champion.
You just
No,
beat Nunes? How the hell are you the underdog in this fight?
I'm with. Listen, I do think it's very disrespectful to the champion Amanda Nunes. I agree. I concur with you. I concur. This is extremely disrespectful to Amanda Nunes. How dare we give Juliana Pena any look here, man. By the way, for DraftKings, Pena is a plus 225 underdog, and Nunes is a minus 265 favorite.
You get better value on either fighter at DraftKings.
Yeah, so let me just say this one thing about Juliana Pena, right? And mind you, I don't hate Juliana Pena. Let me just preface this with that, right? Round two, round two, she did something that very few women can do. She stood in the pocket and banged with Amanda Nunes.
Yep.
And I will give her credit for that. I am not one of the people that say she got lucky or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying, you know? Because at the end of the day, what happened round one, she got destroyed round one. She was getting mauled alive. Things were not looking good for her round one.
Yep.
In the slightest. So round one happens. Pena goes to her stool. She goes to her stool. She goes to her stool, right? They tell her. Oh my god, she really forced herself to cry. What a kid. But she went to the stool, listened to what happened. The coaches was like, all right, look. Round one happened. Took it, obviously you clearly lost. This is why managers need to be more honest with their fighters. Right? Like, hey coach, this is why you need to be honest, because they told her, Juliana, you lost. Okay? You lost round one. Okay? Here's what you need to do. And she stood out there and she banged with Amanda Nunes. And I will give her props for that. I will give her props. I am not, however, going to say use that and go, yup, she can do that same thing again. Because remember, round one was all Amanda Nunes.
Yep.
And I always say that, and I genuinely feel that had Amanda Nunes in round two, instead of playing to her ego, instead of trying to stand and bang, if she had went for a takedown, we have a different conversation. I think Amanda would have won. Now, that didn't happen, so we can't say whether or not it would be for sure. We can't really say that. But I will say I do think that we're gonna see an Amanda Nunes who's angry, who feels disrespected. Because I mean, come on, bro. Amanda Nunes needs to be a plus 500 favorite. Let's just call it what it is. No disrespect to Juliana Pena at all. No, I'm not even trying to be rude to her at all. But and I'm gonna let's play this game. Let's play this game because right now, in the strawweight division, right? Carla Esparza, she's the champ, right? Right now, if Carla Esparza was booked to fight Zhang Weili, who's the favorite? I promise you, it's not Carla.
No, I agree.
You see what I'm saying? And why? Because one person's just better. Pena had a great win. Props to her, and I'm giving her credit, because again, to stand in the pocket and bang like that with Amanda Nunes and understand I'm gonna get hit but not care, that's special.
That's the first time we ever saw somebody be able to do it.
Ever, bro, ever.
Usually, you get hit by Nunes, you're down.
Usually when it happens to Amanda Nunes, it looks like he beating the mess out of my girl. You know what I mean? I just hit it with the boo boo, and she goes, "Ow!" You know what I mean? That's usually how it looks like. But in I'm okay because I can say that because my girl's behind me. She knows I'm joking. You know I'm joking, right?
I will slap the crap out of you.
That's her way of saying she loves me. So everything's all good in this household. By the way, Chris, Monday, if you don't hear from me, call 911. But I will give Pena credit. I will give her props. Baby girl, I'm moving over. Okay, fine. But I will give her credit. But again, in my opinion, I don't think she can really do that again. So, especially considering, like, I don't, Amanda taking her down as effortlessly as she did round one, can she stop that? I don't think so. Because again, if you catch, like, Amanda's going to go in there and she's going to be like, yo, I'm going to destroy you. With all respect, of course, because Amanda's not, she's not a disrespectful person, right? She's not like, I'm gonna miss this woman with a passion, bro. Joanna and Jacek, right? She's gonna be like, oh, yo, I'm getting in your head no matter what. You know what I mean? So I think Amanda learned from her mistakes. She basically got a little too full of herself. And every champ gets full of himself. That's just kind of how it is, right? Especially with how long Amanda's been double champ. Eventually you do kind of get a little full of yourself, which ends up giving you the L. But I think she'll learn from it. She's gonna come in focused and prepared. And I got Amanda getting the win by knockout in round 2. Chris, I have a question for you because I want to hear your thoughts on this. First of all, do you think Pena's winning?
Yeah, I have Pena winning.
Interesting. Okay, so this is actually pretty good that I'm asking you this. If let's say Amanda Nunes loses, right? What does this do for Amanda's legacy? And does this put Juliana Pena in the conversation as one of the greatest female fighters of all time?
That's a good question.
Like,
if Nunes loses, I still think she's going to be considered one of the best women to fight all time because you can't take away what she accomplished being the double champ and just dominated and cleaned out the division where it almost was like nobody could beat her. And then Pena was able to beat her last fight. I don't know if
the thing is, that's like for her, like remember, not only she like kind of looked at us like a boogie woman, but remember, if we go by what you believe, because you think Pena will win, that's twice. Yep. Back to back. The first time you took the belt from her, and then the second time you kept it away. You see what I'm saying? So like, but go ahead, my bad. I didn't want me to.
No, you're good. I think if Pena wins, it cements her. I don't know if she'd be considered one of the best, but it cements her legacy as one. Well, I'd say probably as one of the best, and maybe even cement a place in the Hall of Fame for her if you beat Nunes twice.
Because like I'll be honest. Because I was thinking, right? Because when I first saw it, I was like, no way she wins. No way she wins, right? I was like, she'll put up. Because remember, I talked about this with you last time. When they fought, I said, look, I got Amanda, but I think Pena's going to give her one hell of a fight.
Yeah, that's what we both said. We both said this is going to be one of her biggest tests.
But the thing is like thinking about it, right? If Pena does win, like, how is she going to be looked at? Because that's incredible stuff. You know what I mean? You're beating the consensus greatest of all time in terms of, like, the female division. Like the greatest female fighter ever, right? There were only 2 women. All of it?
It would be, but it would almost be like Eli Manning. He has 2 Super Bowl wins.
No, I don't think so. Well, I don't think so because I think Pena's good. Like, I think
I think Pena's good. I'm just saying, like,
or talking about the actual
having 2 wins over Nunes and then
it's kind of like Eli Manning's thing. Yeah, it's Eli Manning where, like, once he won that second one, the people who are pro Eli were like, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer no matter what. Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm not mad at you for saying that because honestly, I was thinking about it. I'm like, think about it. We're talking about Amanda Nunes, who at the time everybody was like, Ronda's the best, Ronda Mania.
Yeah.
And look what she did to Ronda. Look what she did to Chris Cyborg. Look what she did to Miesha Tate to get the belt, right? Then Valentina Shevchenko. And it's like all that stuff this woman who is the greatest of all time, and you got Juliana Pena, who's been begging, praying, demanding this fight for years. And for her to beat her twice, back to back,
Yeah.
like I don't.
To not only take the title from her, but then to defend your title against her.
Right. Because listen, we've seen people, end up winning a title, right? We saw Brandon Moreno win the title, then give it right back to David Figueroa, right? We saw Matt Serra beat GSP, right? So
Yeah.
like it's possible for sometimes for these all-time greats to kind of lose a step, right? But man, you then look at what happened. They ended up losing in the rematch and basically gave the title back for Juliana Pena. If she beats her twice, Chris, I'm Chris.
And you know what? Honestly, too, I think that there's even more pressure on Pena because if she loses this fight, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to try to say that the first time she beat Nunes was a fluke. So her legacy, Pena's legacy could go in like two different directions. If she loses this fight, there's going to be people screaming that it was a fluke when she beat Nunes the first time.
Which I'll be honest, I'm not gonna go out there and say that it was a fluke. And Chris, I've been consistent with it. I am pro Amanda, right?
Yeah.
Like Amanda is, without a doubt, in my opinion, the greatest female fighter of all time. And I've been saying this since before. I've been saying this before it was popular. I believe Amanda Nunes needs to be in the conversation of greatest fighter of all time. I don't care that she's a woman.
Yeah.
I don't care that she's a woman, bro.
Well,
like, you know what I mean? She needs to be in that conversation because, like, the division she's in, it's not weak. Amanda makes them look weak.
Yeah.
Because of how good she is. Look what she did Valentina. You know what I mean? So, I just.
Well, if Nunes does win this fight, they're going to end up probably having opinion Nunes 3.
I don't think so.
Well,
it depends. It depends.
I think it depends on how the fight goes.
Yes,
depends on how the fight goes.
Yeah, because if it's a close one, and it goes to decision,
a close one, they'll do another fight. But if Nunes was the finisher, I don't think they will.
Yeah, no. If it's basically like round one, like if round one she dominates her, then round two knocks her out, and it was just a dominating performance, like from bell to bell, then no. But if it's a situation where it was close, you know what I mean? Pena was keeping up with Amanda catching it with a flash knockout or something like that, or by the decision, and it was real close, then yeah, they'll run it back.
Because I mean, who else you gonna have Nunes fight? Valentina again?
Well, I don't think there's time for that. And all honesty, for me, she should fight Valentina. In my opinion, her and Valentina should be fighting. Like if I was booking it, I would cross my fingers. If I'm Dana White, I would cross my fingers and hope Pena gives you a good old JR, a good old slobber knocker, right?
Oh yeah.
Right? Because if you do that, guess what happens? You can now run it back. Now, here's what you can do with that. You can either A, if that happens, have Amanda win, and if Amanda wins, right? If Amanda wins, you can kind of set up that Valentina fight.
Yeah.
Or, bear with me, Juliana Pena versus Valentina Shevchenko.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You could have that fight.
I think that one. I think that's a solid fight.
Oh, I agree.
I think it's a solid fight. So I think it all comes down to how it ends up playing out, and whether or not, because I don't want to say that Pena isn't gonna show up, because in her entire career she's shown you like, yo, I'm game. You know what I mean? No matter the outcome, I'm game. But for me, man, Pena, listen, Pena, she a bad woman. She could fight. Don't get it twisted. She could fight. But matter of fact, I'm I think I'm being a little too disrespectful now to Amanda. I'm being way too disrespectful. I am gonna go. I'm going to find out Amanda Nunes' full name, and I'm going to remember her wife's full name and her adopted child's full name, and I'm going to refer her as the wife of whatever her wife's name is, full name too, right? Mother of, and I will mention her adopted daughter's entire name, the one, the only Amanda Nunes, and I'm gonna find out her real name, and I'm going to memorize it like I do for Tom Brady. I'm gonna remember it. I'm gonna memorize her entire name. Matter of fact, she's Brazilian, right?
Yep.
I'm moving to Brazil. I'm learning Portuguese. That's it. I'm like, if Amanda, I'm going to be one of those. Remember back in the day, those Jeff Hardy fans that were like real extreme that like got his tattoos. I don't know if you remember. There was like that whole era where like everyone was like, oh yeah, bro, I love Jeff, and they would listen to his horrible music or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna bring that back with Amanda. Whatever Amanda says is right is right. Whatever she sponsors, I'm buying immediately. Immediately, Chris. Like, I don't care what the reviews say. I'm buying it immediately. If Amanda Nunes switches to Verizon, guess what I'm doing?
Getting Verizon.
I'm going to Verizon, brother. Okay? If Amanda goes to Whole Foods and eats horrible food, Amanda can eat poop right now. Guess what I'm eating? I'm eating poop.
I forgot how vicious he was back when he fought in Pride.
Who?
Rampage. They showed him power.
Oh my days.
Power bombing guy.
Dude, Rampage was a problem back in Pride. He was a problem back
then. Dude, he straight power bombed the guy. Look like he broke him in half.
But he doesn't care. No. I think he wanted to. I feel like a lot of the power bombs I've seen him do, his goal was, I'm trying to cripple. Okay, I'm trying to cripple.
Yeah, it's getting to the main event now, him against Hamill. They were showing some of his highlights from other fights. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, bro, he's.
I remember when he lost to Forrest Griffin.
Dude, Rampage?
Yeah.
Dude, I love Forrest Griffin so much, bro. Like, he's hilarious.
But you knew he wasn't going to have a real long career because he took way too much damage.
No, he did not care.
No.
He did not care. Like, for those of y'all who didn't know, this is the best way I can describe Forrest Griffin. Imagine a guy, right, who would literally run his head through a wall. Okay? After he somehow successfully does that, looks at his next obstacle, which is I basically need to tightrope on this line, but if I fall, there's metal spikes that will impale me. And then next to me, there's like two walls that if I lean too far, I fall on the wall, which is pressure padded, so that way guns shoot me at every angle. Then have that same dude after he finishes that skydive with no parachute. You see how a normal person sees all of those, red flags? Yeah, Forrest Griffin's the type of dude to see the red flags and go, all right, what else? Like, this dude does not care about his health.
He'd be like, hold my beer.
Yeah, like Forrest Griffin was really the type of dude who took real life hurt himself. And I'm like, who hurt you, bro?
I wish I could find video of it, dude. I got drunk one night and fought in the cage.
I need you to find it.
I fought a dude that weighed like 30 pounds more than I did.
Oh,
dude,
you told me.
I was drunk as hell.
Isn't it the story you told me where they were just like looking for a random guy and you were like sure and you were drunk out of your mind?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll fight.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
I wish there's a video of it somewhere. I wish I could find it because, dude, it looked like I'm telling you, the dude was way bigger, but it was funny when you looked at it. I remember I came out down the stairs and I looked in the cage and I looked at the guys that was walking out with me. I was like, that ain't the dude I'm supposed to be fighting. Like something's wrong. But I had to fight him at that point because I want to look like
you're too deep.
Fell out.
So, you're in too deep. You're in too deep, so you have to commit. You
I
gotta
woke
commit
up
at
the next
that
day
point.
sore as hell. My fucking ear was purple. No, we went to the bar after the fight. It kept drinking. I didn't even know that I had bruises or anything.
Yeah,
I
you're
felt
like,
fine till the morning. I woke up in the morning sore as fuck.
bro, your depth perception was like so off. You're like, hey, that's a cute girl. That's a guy. Oh, okay, cool. Like, your depth perception was like horrible.
Rampage with that big ass chain kills me. Big
You know
ass
what
chain.
else kills me, Chris? Chris, you wanna know what else kills me?
What?
A lack of love. But nah, Rampage with that big ass shit. It's hilarious. You know what? You know what's even funnier to me? I shouldn't laugh. Rampage with that chain in Bellator. Talking about Bellator Rampage that was clearly out of shape. Dude,
Yeah,
it's hilarious. Yeah, that's hilarious, bro. I was like lolcat. I was like a Rockocopter.
but no, I'm looking. So we're out of 13 fights. I think we have 3 different.
Which were the 3? Because you have Brandon Moreno,
Yeah, and then the main
Bre-
event.
and then the main event, and then it was which one was it? It was one of the
It was close and
yes,
Garcia.
yes, 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 yes. And I basically had picked close only because of the Garcia taking the fight on very short notice.
Yeah. And for everybody listening, don't forget we'll be doing a live watch along tomorrow night for it. We'll do summer. We're gonna start at 8 doing SummerSlam, and then
Yes, sir.
be doing the UFC after that. So make sure you come
Oh,
join us for that. It should be a good time.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm definitely watching it. I
Oh,
definitely gotta watch it, bro.
I
It's
know
gonna.
my dad is fired up for SummerSlam.
It's, you know,
He,
I just don't
he
fuck with
don't
him.
miss wrestling. He watches it every day.
Let's go, Lesnar. I didn't want to cheer for them. It's crazy. I say let's go Lesnar. My daughter goes no. So I guess that's how. I guess I know where her and I stand on wrestling.
I don't have no wrestling shows this weekend, so I'll be at the house next weekend. I
Oh,
have
thank
2.
God. Thank God you can freaking relax. Jeez.
And next
It's like
weekend we have
every.
2, Saturday and Sunday. But the Pope, Elijah Burke, the Pope will be at both of those shows.
Gee, he's so slept on, bro.
Yeah, I'm working. I'm hoping. I'm working on trying to get him to come on my wrestling podcast.
Convince him. Don't
Oh,
take no for an answer.
I'm gonna work on it. He's a good dude. I got to talk to him last time. He's good. He's a pretty good dude. He does a lot of charity stuff as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never heard a bad word about him ever.
I don't understand why he's not at AEW or WWE. I mean, he's in TNA, right? Or not TNA, NWA.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and you know why? I think for him, he already has a bad taste in his mouth from WWE, right? Remember, he was in that rebooted ECW, so I think he
Yeah.
kind of has a bad taste in his mouth about that. AEW, that I don't know. That one, I don't
So, I mean,
know.
I don't know how
Right?
much he's making at NWA. He might be making decent money, so he might,
And on top of that, I'm pretty sure the days that he works, it's not like they're not running him into the ground.
Yeah. No, they
You know
do
what I
that.
mean?
They do TV tapings and like record like a month's worth of shows,
Yeah,
whatever.
right. So like while we're seeing it, it's not live. So it's
Yeah.
like he's not really running. So it could be a possibility that he's comfortable where he's at. Because
Well,
I'll be honest with you, man.
not
If
only
you give
that,
me, okay.
not only that, he's making that money from TNA, and now you have all that free time where you can go get booked on some of these independent shows and make decent money.
Exactly. And you can make kind of side money. And if you don't want to work, then don't. You don't have to book yourself or anything like that.
I know he made decent money when he was in last time he was here because he had a line before the show, a line during intermission of people signing autographs and taking pictures, and then after
Right.
the show he had a line that it probably took for like 45 minutes. He had a line of people after.
Yeah.
So I mean, and
Yeah.
dude,
Nah.
he stayed out there for an hour and a half after the show talking to fans.
What a guy. What a guy. That's a hell of a guy right
I'm
there.
looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to this fight tomorrow. You have anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, bro. I ain't got nothing but a word, Chris. Thank you for having me, bro. Always
Oh
fun.
man,
Always a pleasure.
yeah, you're welcome anytime. I love talking to you some UFC. There ain't many guys on the ASAP to talk UFC.
No, it sucks. It's like talk UFC, guys. They're like, okay, punches, and I'm like,
I
no,
don't
not like
understand
that.
it. To me, to me it's a I don't know. It's a fun watch.
It is. It,
I'd
it,
love to
it
go.
really is a
I'd like to go watch one live. I've been to cage fights, but I've
dude.
never been to UFC.
Honestly, because like I was looking, I found out like what's it called? They might do a show in Greenville, which is like where I live, and like if they do that, I told my friend I'm going. Like I was like, if my fiance won't let me, I'm like, yo, we could have a prelim at the house. I'll beat the shit out you, and I'm going.
Well,
Right,
they were here in Indianapolis about 40
right,
minutes from me years ago,
right,
and I
right.
didn't
Yeah,
go because they
yeah.
wanted to. I was gonna pay like the cheapest ticket was like $150 to sit way up at the top, and I'm like, fuck, I can watch at home for 40 or $60 on pay per view and have a lot better seat.
Yeah, yeah, no, but just to clarify,
It
like
was me being I wanted good seats. I didn't want to sit up at the top.
hell yeah, I don't blame you though, because why do I want to be a little bit bumblefuck? I
Yeah,
mean, I guess so I can say I
and it
was
was like
there, sure.
$150 to sit up at the top, and I'm like, well, fuck that.
Yeah, because on top
I'll
of that,
pay
while you're up
150 to sit
there,
down sit lower, but not up at the top.
yeah, and the thing is while you're up there, dude, oh, bro, the walk to go get food and stuff is
Oh yeah,
it's brutal. I've heard. I think there was one in Texas they did, and some guy who was on social media and he was talking about it, kind of like giving his experience or whatever. He was like, hey, he was like, I love being there. He's like, it's a fun atmosphere. He was like, the problem really was like having to go get food because he was like, dude, he was like, he didn't know why, but it just felt like he missed a lot.
oh yeah,
Like he felt like because of how far it is, he said it. He was like, I feel like I missed like 2 rounds. I
yeah.
was like, jeez.
See, like me, I have to use a cane to walk. So once I get to my seat, I'm not getting up because it's hard for me to walk around anyway. So once I get to the seat, I'm there. I usually go sit down and then whoever I'm with, like if it's me and my girl, she'll go get us food and stuff, and I'll sit there at her seats, try to walk the least
Yeah,
amount I can.
yeah. It's a struggle, but like I said, I want to. And then the thing is, I don't want to be like I don't have to be like uber up close, but I do
Yeah,
kind of want to be in the middle. I want to be in a situation where if I can throw something at a fighter, it'll hit him. If
yeah.
I'm not that
If I'm
close,
just like midways up, I wouldn't care. I just don't
yeah,
want to be up on the
I,
top.
I want to be able to like who do I hate as a fighter? Who do I hate?
Like we went to SummerSlam and we were like it was at Gain I still call it Conseco, but it's Gainbridge now. It's where the Pacers play. But
Okay.
they had the seats on the floor. We didn't get
Yep.
floor seats, but the regular seats that are there at Conseco, we were in the 10th row. So we were
Well, that's
just like
good seats.
right at ring level, dude. And it was awesome. It was the SummerSlam that can't remember the year. I think it was like '08, but it was Edge and Undertaker Hell in the Cell was the main event.
Oh, I think that is 08.
Undertaker choke slammed Edge through the ring
Through the
after
ring.
the match.
Yeah. Yep. I think that was it.
That was probably we had a blast. Me and my dad and my son went, and dude, that was probably one of the best live events that I've been to just because of where we were sitting. Other than the Colts game a couple of years ago, my son got me tickets on the 50-yard line, like 6 rows up for Father's Day a couple of years ago.
What a guy! I cannot wait for my kids to grow up so I can get these Father's Day gifts.
Yeah, he spent like almost $200 a ticket and bought tickets for me, him, and my dad all to
What
go.
the? What does he do,
He works at Menards.
bro? Can you adopt me so we could be brothers and we could all go? Like, jeez, bro.
Well, like this background I have now,
Uh huh.
he got me that for Father's Day. It's a blanket and it has the GSR logo up at the top, but with this camera you can't see the top of it. But yeah, he got me that for Father's
You
Day.
know,
And I use it as my background now.
it's kind of funny because like
I sit right in the middle.
cause not only you sit in the middle, which is kind of perfect because you cover it perfectly, so that way, like your dad is on like how I'm looking at your dad is on your left and your son is on your right. But it's kind of funny because like it's reversed, so it goes from tallest to
Yeah.
shortest, and then if you flip it, it's oldest to youngest. Which is kind of funny, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
like it's your dad, you, then your son, and then if you go in height, your son, you, your dad. I don't know. I just find that funny.
And then my other son, my other son Austin, the one that bought the blanket, he's not even on. His picture ain't even on it. He said, "I want to put my picture on it," but he goes, "I don't do no shows or nothing with you guys." I said, "I wouldn't care if your picture was on it."
Like, get him on a show. Get him on a show.
You know, I try to get him on all the time. I ain't been able to talk him into it. Now,
you give me his phone number, I'll blow his phone up, and I'll be like, "Yo, I will not leave you alone until you get on."
Eli, the one that's on this picture, he runs the camera for me when we do the live wrestling shows.
Oh, that's dope. Has he ever been on camera?
No, he don't hardly get on camera. He likes staying off camera, but he'll run the camera. He goes there and he runs the camera for me.
He likes doing the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, he helps me set up and tear down too. He's learned where everything goes and how to load it back up, so we get out places quick now.
That's dope.
But yeah, it's basically just family. And hell, when he had to work, my fiance, she ran the camera for us because I couldn't find nobody else to do it, so she ran it for us.
That's dope.
Like, I can't do commentary and run the camera both. I mean, I could, but people wouldn't like my camera work. So I forget I was running the camera and just be watching the match.
Yeah, because I was about to say, because I've seen some of the stuff. I like how you got that mini camera in the corner where you kind of see you and your pops do the commentary and stuff. Like, because then you wouldn't even really be able to do that mini camera, you know?
Yeah. But what I want to do is I'm working on getting the funds, but once I have the funds, we're going to get another camera so we can have a roaming camera around the ring. So we'll be able to offer two different angles than just the one hard camera. I think it'll make our shows look even better. I'm working on doing replays. I'll be having replays here soon once I figure it out better. Right now it messes up on me some, and I don't want to do it live and it messes up.
Not for you.
Just learning how to use the damn software.
And that's it. Yeah, just learn.
I use Streamlabs for that, but you can do replays. But for some reason, I'll do a replay, and then when I go to do another replay, it shows the first replay, and then it shows that replay. It don't just show the one I want. It shows all of them.
See, that is good.
So I'm trying to figure that out because that'd be cool to be able to show replays of like superplexes and power bombs and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Well, all right, brother. I'm gonna get off here and give me a little bit to eat before I have to record this podcast with my dad.
Shoot. All right, bro. Well, I appreciate you having me, bro. Always a pleasure.
Like I said, you're welcome anytime. You gonna jump on tomorrow?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm ready for tomorrow night. I think we're gonna go. I guess we're going swimming tomorrow during the day. Well, they're going swimming. I'm gonna sit in a chair with my sunglasses on and drink some beer. I ain't getting in the water. I'll just sit there at the beach in the sand and drink.
That's it. Shoot. I don't blame you. I do the same thing.
That's my plan there. That's my plans during the day tomorrow. And then tomorrow night's the fights. But I want to thank everybody for joining us. Like you can see on the thing there, join us tomorrow night, 8:00. We're going to do SummerSlam and UFC live reaction. Should be a fun night because I think there's going to be 3 or 4 of us on there.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be a fun night. So come join us for that. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and we will see you guys next time here for Easy Money and Sports Betting Show, which will be Monday at 3 p.m. And baseball picks. I will be putting my today's baseball picks up on the social media pages. Damn, losing my voice on the social media pages. Here in just a little bit, I'll get my baseball picks up today since I didn't talk no baseball today because today was UFC.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, sir.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports all plays.